Hello and welcome to Hayridge Model Rail. In this video I'm doing some more work on the landscape by the incline, there's further progress on the station platforms, trains running and my purchases from Folkstone and Warley. Okay, so I'm going to remove this cardboard template that I've been living with for a week, and I'm going to mark it up onto my 5mm ply and get it cut out. So let's get on with that. Trying to get the best use I can out of the sheet. I think there is probably going to be the best. Looks pretty good. Right, get that marked out and then we'll come back. Right, so there we have it. Template drawn out. And yep, we'll get that cut out now. And then offer it up and see if it just needs a little bit of fettling or whether it slips straight into the slot that I've got ready for it. So let's get on. Okay, so I've cut my template and really it needs a little bit of a twist in it to make it sit right. So I'm weighting it down at the moment. I'm going to see what that does to it. If not, it may be a case of just building up the landscape around it and then working from there, or doing something with the original cardboard template to make it a little bit more sturdy. But we'll see what we decide to do. In the meantime, I have made a start on carving this face, and I've obviously left the gap for the road to go underneath. This side is dry, so this is going to get a coat of paint now to match it up with that. So I'm going to get that done, and then we'll move on from there. So after looking at the plywood that I'd cut, just didn't feel like it was sitting right. So what I've done is I've gone back to my cardboard template and I've skimmed it with some filler. I'm going to let this go off. This is the second skim. And yeah, I'm going to build up the layers slowly and hopefully get that to sit in nicely. The ply just wasn't sitting where I wanted it to. And the cardboard fitted nicely, and it was just a case of building up the layers. So I'm going to let this go off enough to be hard, and then just pull it out. I've already taken it out quickly once to make sure that it hopefully doesn't stick to the sides. And I'll have a removable section for when I, well, if I ever need to get under the track. Hopefully I won't have to come up very often. You know, with trains stopping or having to clean the track or anything. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Here we have my small haul from the Folkstone Model Railway exhibition. I've managed to pick up a couple of 6-pin decoders from Lens. Been after these for a while, but everywhere seems to be out of stock. Lack of semiconductors and everything else to put them together, but managed to pick up a couple there.
an ESU decoder testing board, which I've had my eye on for a while. Managed to get one of them at the show as well, so I'll be giving that a try out. Looking forward to checking the decoders on there and making sure they all work before putting them into the locomotives. I've obviously got to change pretty much all the locomotives over to these new lens decoders. Silver Minis are the ones I'm using, which allow me to set up the braking. So my train should come to a nice halt at the signals and the stations. And finally, now these are like gold dust at the moment, very difficult to get hold of, but this will finish off my Pullman set. So my last two Pullman carriages, which I managed to pick up second hand from one of the stalls while I was there. Again, very pleased with managing to find two. So yeah, I'll have a nice rake of Pullmans to run around the layout.
Okay, so my recent visit to Warley, I managed to pick up all the way around, a 2mm to the foot scale ruler. Been after one for quite a while. Saves me having to do a bit of conversion with my 4mm to the foot scale ruler. I bought some different static grasses. We've got 1mm, 2mm and a 1/2mm, which I've never seen before, so I'm going to give them a go. I also got some, everything's the wrong way around. We've got some speed signs, which are going to get put on the layout, painted up. Some mileposts and gradient markers. And some fencing. Oh, and some Woodland Scenics blended turf. And the last thing that I got from Warley was 2 of these hopper wagons, which I managed to find at one of the trade stands. So that was great. As you can see, got 6 now. So a small rake, hopefully going to build it up. Probably looking to double that eventually. And we'll see how we go. And yeah, a few little purchases, things I really needed. Also got a new pair of wire strippers, which I've made use of already. Very handy to have. So, over here. See, we've got we're going to have a tidy up, I think, the next couple of days. See how it's all looking. But yeah, I like how everything's coming along. Got a few scale scenes card kits to make up. So I'm going to have to put a bridge there for the road. Looking forward to doing that. But let's get a couple of trains running. Right, I've had a couple of days off from being up in the attic, and this has gone off quite nicely. So this is the cardboard template with a couple of layers of filler on it at the moment, and it's come up quite solid. I'm going to continue with this and put some more layers on until I get it all nice and level. So we'll continue with that and come back to it. In the meantime, I'm going to put a bit of ground cover on this piece of landscape here, and I've just purchased and printed out a scale scenes arch bridge, which I'm going to make up and fit into that gap. So I'm hopefully going to make a start on that this evening. So let's make a start on this. Okay, so I've made a little bit of a start on some cover, some ground cover. We're using a blended turf, a green blend from Woodland Scenics. It's looking quite good. Obviously that's just put on and glued. I'm going to wait for it to dry, then I'll brush off the excess and then see how it looks from there, and then maybe add some static grass, give it a bit of depth. So I'm going to work my way around now and hopefully cover the rest of that. Okay, so I've been working away downstairs on this road bridge, which, as you can see, I've now slotted into position. So the next thing to do is just get it exactly where I need it. See if I need to raise it up a little bit, and then put the wing walls and buttresses on either side, certainly on the front, and then fill it in so that it's all blended into the rest of the landscape. The cover for the first section of the tunnel has had another coat. It's looking quite good now, getting very solid, which is good. Just letting that go off a little bit more, let that dry. But yeah, that's fitting in nicely, and I've decided on using a building fixed to it so that I can remove it from the layout should I need to gain access to the track underneath. So again, something I'm going to have to look into. But yeah, I'm going to carry on with this section here, and I'll come back to you with a bit more progress. I've now added a small black piece of card just to cover up any blemishes, make it a little bit easier to fill in any of the gaps for the trains running above. And also I've raised up the bridge on a bit of 3mm cork just to get a little bit more height, so it's nice and snug fit now. So I'm gonna just add a little dab of glue either side just to hold the cork down, and then that will be painted eventually to make up the road, which is going to lead into the area around here. And I've put in an extra piece of foam to pack it out a little bit, save me from doing too much filling. That's dried now, and it will be putting on the wing walls like this. Next, once I just carve away a bit of the landform, something like that. I'll get them fitted. And also I've been working on around here finishing the platform. So I've put the edging on, I finished the top layer, and yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. I've got a little bit more to do here. I run out, so I've got one more section there. Yeah, then some walling around the back here, but no, looks I'll be able to fix it down, so it's looking pretty good. Happy with everything at the moment. Coming along very nicely. So we have a little bit more work on the platform sections. As you can see, the far line has now got a complete platform, and in front a little bit more work to do, but coming along nicely. Got the platform top cut, just needs testing to make sure nothing hits it. We've got some ledge to put in, and then the platform top to put on. But coming along really well. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.